From beautiful Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field on the College of the Holy Cross campus in Worcester, Mass. It's the state semifinals of the MIAA High School Baseball Tournament. And a pleasant good evening, fans, and welcome to Holy Cross. And welcome to Franklin High School in the semifinals of the state tournament. I'm Pete Royce, working alongside Nippon Goyle. Nippon, it comes down to this. There are 4 seeds remaining, the 3 now, because one was eliminated just about an hour ago. And the top 4 seeds made it this far. Franklin with the chance of a lifetime tonight.
Absolutely, Pete. Franklin currently on a 19-game winning streak. They're 2 away from a state championship. It's not going to be easy against a very talented Shrewsbury team they have some experience with earlier in this year in the preseason scrimmage. But this Panther team is sending one of its best arms to the mound, its best lineup. This should be a great one.
Franklin comes in with a record of 22-3. They're the #1 seed in the tournament, and Shrewsbury is the #4 seed, and they're 21 wins and 3 losses on the season. Let's check the Franklin starting defensive lineup. We mentioned Mucciarone, who'll be pitching. Catcher will be Joe Terrell. At third base, Ben Jaros. At shortstop, Henry DeGiorgio. At second, Jack Marino. At first, Evan Rader. In the outfield, Chris Good in left, Ryan Garrity in center, and Ezek Chin is in right field. The starting lineup for the Shrewsbury Colonials out of the Midwalk League. They will have Andrew Paris in left field leading off. A.J. Ham, the shortstop, bats 2. Alex Martin, the center fielder, hits 3rd. Ben Griffith, the designated hitter, hits 4th. Colby Coughlin hits 5th at third base. Jack Bates is the first baseman, hits 6th. Dushin Singh is the right fielder, hitting 7th. Jack O'Sullivan is the catcher, hitting 8th. And Rocco Kinski is the second baseman. He hits 9th. On the hill for Shrewsbury, Rocco Hinson, the senior. Shrewsbury coached by Lee Diamantopoulos and Franklin coached by Zach Brown. And what a job Zach Brown has done this year. It was 3-3 at one point in the season.
I mean, let's be honest, when Franklin had lost those 3 straight games to fall to 3-3, things were looking bleak. There were questions being raised about the program. How could they bounce back? And they bounced back in an incredible way. We've talked about it so many times. That trip to Cooperstown, that team chemistry built over the season by Franklin. They play for each other. They play hard. They play with effort. And that's been a big reason why they've won 19 straight games.
And just looking ahead, as we tend to do, in the first game tonight, Taunton High School defeated a strong Catholic Memorial High School 8-4. They'll move on to the state championship.
And Franklin has experience with Taunton this year, already playing 2 times. Hockomock League rivals. Franklin, of course, beat Taunton in the second matchup 7-1, but Taunton got the best of Franklin in the first matchup. So if Franklin advances, we'll see a rubber match at a neutral site.
Here we go. The umpire is Rich Sarney at home plate. Pitch is a low. First base is Tom Durso, and at third base is Mark D'Angelo. First pitch is a ball by Alfred Mucciarone. And up at the plate is Andrew Paris. And that's ball 2, 2-0.
Well, we saw Mucciarone in the Panthers round of 16 game against Chelmsford. He went 6 innings, allowed 2 runs early, but then got cooking.
And there's a shot into center field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Paris rounds first. He's going to pull up at second base as Garrity tried to cut it off Nippon, and it just eluded him and goes for a double.
Yeah, speaking of getting cooking, how about Andrew Paris? He got all of that pitch, lined it right in center field, and Garrity doing his best to minimize the damage. It rolled behind him, and now the first batter for the Colonials is already on scoring position.
Well, what happened there is Mucciarone fell behind in the count, and Paris just lined it into right center field. Here's A.J. Ham, the shortstop, and Mucciarone bluffs Paris back to second base. So a good start for the Colonials of Shrewsbury. What a year they've had. First pitch to Ham is inside. 1-0. Good crowd on hand. Both stands. Shrewsbury with a huge delegation to our left, and Franklin has the first base side.
Phenomenal crowd, great ballpark, and a lot of green grass.
It's beautiful, and that's still a ball. So Mucciarone has yet to throw a strike. It's 2-0 for the first 2 batters. This is A.J. Ham, the senior shortstop. Strong wind blowing straight in from center field to home plate, maybe a little bit right to home. Ball 3. So Mucciarone struggling here with his control. It's a new mound. That takes some getting used to as well.
Of course.
3 balls and no strikes to A.J. Ham, the top of the first inning. Mucciarone's pitch, and that's a strike. So he gets one in there. 3-1.
Hopefully that settles him down a little bit. As you said, take some time getting used to a new mound, new sight lines, new ballpark. He's just got to calm down and fire those strikes.
This field plays very big with the strong winds coming in deep dimensions. There's a shot rifled down to the first base side right in front of the Taunton players who are here taking in the game. They have a reason to be here.
Absolutely. Already punched their ticket to the state final. Now they're doing some scouting on who their potential opponent might be.
3 balls and 2 strikes to A.J. Ham. Alfred Mucciarone. He pitches, and it's a high fly fading down the right field line and going out of play. Hits the third row down the right field line.
Good battle back by Mucciarone so far. He fell behind in the count 3-0, but now he's battled back to make it a full count. Anything can happen here. He just needs to get that first out.
Mucciarone, a junior. Pitching to Joe Terrell. Terrell, the senior catcher. The stretch by Alfred Mucciarone. The 3-2 pitch home is grounded towards the hole. Second baseman Marino dives for it, comes up, that throws to first in time for the out. And on the play, Paris goes over to third.
I'll tell you what, that's a phenomenal play by Jack Marino. As you said, Pete, this field plays very big, so he had to cover a lot of ground right there to stop that ball, then throw from his knees to Rader. It does advance the runner to third base, only 1 out, but the important thing is you have that first out on the board now.
So 1 out, a runner in third. Anything goes now. Alex Martin, the center fielder, will bat from the left side. Hits in the 3 slot for Coach Lee Diamantopoulos. The infield is back. They will concede the run on a ground ball. And there's the ground ball to Marino to the shoulder. He throws, and the first run is in. And Shrewsbury leads it 1-0. An RBI out for Alex Martin.
That's the important facet for Shrewsbury, getting ahead early in the game. Franklin, a team not accustomed to playing behind many times. They're often the one striking first, but now they'll be behind. Now 2 outs on the board, but that double was huge from Paris to start off the game.
Here's their cleanup hitter for Shrewsbury, Ben Griffith, the designated hitter, and he swings and misses for a strike. We'll see if Mucciarone settles down. We've seen him settle down in the past, and what a role he had against Chelmsford.
Pitch phenomenal.
There's another tapper back to Mucciarone. He'll calmly throw it over to first. 3 grounders after the double. We've played 1/2 inning from Holy Cross with the visitors, considered the visitors as the number 4 seed, 1, and the Franklin Panthers coming to bat.
Again, a very similar start to Chelmsford. As you said, Pete, Mucciarone took some time getting settled down in that game as well. After this, he let up the double, but then 3 straight ground outs. So Mucciarone took him some time, but now he's getting in his zone a little bit. That's what you want to see for Franklin. And for the battery at this point, excuse me, for the offense, it's a matter of doing what Shrewsbury did, getting that leadoff man on board, getting those base runners. Franklin loves to be aggressive on the base path. We've seen many years. And just taking it one batter at a time.
And that'll be the game plan for Coach Zach Brown. As he'll send up here in the home first, Ryan Garrity, Jack Marino, and Chris Good. The pitcher is Rocco Hickson, a senior right-hander, tall pitcher out on the hill for Shrewsbury. And they have the early 1-0 lead. We will play 7 innings throughout the tournament. That's a new high school national federation rule. And this year, the MIA has adopted the federation rules. And so we'll go 7 as we have had in the early stages of this playoff. Garrity, Marino, and Good. The Shrewsbury defense, Andrew Paris is in left. Alex Martin is in center. Dashint Singh is in right. Kobe Coughlin is at third. A.J. Ham is at short. Rocco Kinski at second. Jake Jack Bates at first, Jack O'Sullivan, the catcher, and Rocco Hickson is on the mound for Shrewsbury High. Shrewsbury, not really known, Nippon, for that much baseball success, but what a year they've had. They've beaten the likes of St. John's and Shrewsbury. They always struggle with them. They play against Wachusett Regional. They have a real good, strong Midwalk League,
Yes.
and they've just powered their way through it with some cliffhanger games. Don't get me wrong. It hasn't been a cakewalk for Shrewsbury, but they've managed to win.
Shrewsbury has had kind of a flair for the dramatic beat over the season. As you said, in their league, a lot of tough opponents, kind of some premier programs for baseball in central Massachusetts, Leominster, Wachusett, St. John's, Algonquin being among those few. And again, it's not been easy for Shrewsbury. All their playoff games have been close games. They eked out a 6-5 win over Newton North in the first round, then 5-2 over Lincoln Sudbury, and then 7-3 over BC High. All of these were very close games at some point, and Shrewsbury was able to pull away towards the end. So they're built for the clutch.
Some big teams mentioned there. So here's Garrity stepping in from the left side. And Hickson rocks and throws. A curveball is way out in front is Garrity, and he lines it past the first base foul line. Retrieved by Bates, their first baseman.
That's nothing new for Garrity. He loves to swing at the first pitch, very aggressive.
That's deep in the left-handed box. Curveball is in there for a strike. So Hickson going with the little ripple. 0-2 for Garrity at the plate. Sun is still a factor, a very low sun setting behind left field. Long shadows. Garrity, the 0-2 is a little bit high and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the Franklin leadoff hitter, Ryan Garrity. The 1-2 home, that's line foul and out of play by Garrity, out into the stands. Garrity, a junior.
I'm sorry, Pete. You can see him picking a spot right now. He wants to pull the ball to right field. That's where he's hitting right now.
Pitch home. There's a ground ball to second base. Picked up there by Kinski over to first in time for the out. And there's 1 out in the home first.
Again, was trying to get it to that right field area. Just didn't get all of it on that pitch. Grounded it. And the first man is gone for Franklin. Just what Hickson wanted.
So Jack Marino steps up with his orange and black bat, and he takes a strike. And the home plate umpire is Rich Sarney. And at first base is Tom Durso, and at third, Mark D'Angelo. The infield in sun, the outfield almost all in shadows. That pitch is a strike, 0-2. So unlike Mucciarone, Hickson has found the plate early for Shrewsbury.
Yeah, he seems very comfortable right now, throwing a lot of strikes.
0-2, nobody on, 1 out in the bottom of the first. The 0-2 home is just a little bit high and wide. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jack Marino. On deck is the 3-hitter for Franklin, Chris Good. Curveball swung on and missed. First K of the game for Hickson. And there are 2 out, nobody on. And up steps Chris Good, the senior left fielder for Franklin.
Got another one of Franklin's top hitters, but Hickson seems like he might be a tough egg to crack. That was a great curveball and a strong arsenal showing. He's got the fastball, got the off speed.
A lanky pitcher. Those long strides. He pumps the first one home for a strike, 0-1. He's gotten ahead of everybody. The lights are on, but haven't taken their effect yet. A curveball is in the dirt. Good had a notion, but held up in time. On deck is the cleanup hitter for Franklin, Evan Rader. Chris Flynn is our producer tonight. We welcome back Meredith McCunis to our telecasting crew. Pitch is fouled back. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-0 Shrewsbury, bottom of the first. Pitch is outside, 2-2 on Good.
They're just looking for that perfect pitch right now, and he's going to let it rip.
The pitch is a long fly to deep left field. This is way back. It's going to be over the head of the left fielder, up against the wall. Good is at second base, and he pulls up with a stand-up double. Chris Good got all of that ball and laced it on one hop to the wall in left field. And like Shrewsbury, Franklin has a double in the first inning.
He was looking for that perfect pitch, and he got it right there. Up and in, and he let it fly. I thought that ball was almost gone, Pete. It hit kind of the top of that left field wall. Very well hit, and Chris Good responds nicely. Great position here for Evan Rader.
Rader steps in the 4 slot for Coach Zach Brown. The potential tying run at second base. The pitch home, and Rader takes the strike. It's the curveball that's working best for Hickson so far tonight.
Just the motion that it gets. It falls so suddenly. Rader didn't know what to do with it.
0-1 on Rader. The stretch by Hickson. The 0-1 is not going to be made as Hickson rolls off the back of the mound, and it drives the doubling Good back to second base.
Good had a few stolen bases in Franklin's win against Bridgewater Raynham in the round of 8. He has wheels and he can fly.
The pitch is a curveball. It's just hit foul. Getting out in front of it was Rader down the left field line. Not a lot of room in foul territory down the lines. Quite a bit behind, well, somewhat behind home plate. There's some room, but not as you go out to the outfield. Absolutely spectacular night here in Worcester. No balls and 2 strikes on Evan Rader. Rocco Hickson delivers high and wide. 1-2 on Rader. On deck for Franklin, Henry DeGiorgio, the shortstop. 1-0, Shrewsbury on top. So glad you're with us, fan. We're streaming live on the internet and on Franklin TV. Pitch is in the dirt. Nice stop there by O'Sullivan. It's 2-2 on Rader. This is the state semifinals. The winner will play Taunton High School. The 2-2. Curveball is high. 3-2.
He was trying to go back to his signature pitch once more, but it just didn't break enough to fall in the strike zone. Full count here for Evan Rader.
The payoff pitch has popped up a mile high down the left field line. Is it going to stay in bounds? No, the wind, I think, took that out. And we'll have to do the payoff pitch again. A high towering pop-up by Rader. And the count stays at 3-2.
I almost lost that in the sky. Just drifted out. The wind already, as you said, Pete, having a bit of an effect in this game.
It did help pull it over. The payoff pitch again. Rader swings and hits it into left field. Good is going to make the turn. He's being waved in. There will be no throw at home. And Franklin has tied the game at 1 with an RBI single on a 3-2 pitch by Evan Rader.
What a response by Franklin. The first 2 outs, you're already down 1-0, but you keep battling back. Good starts it off with a double. Then Rader rips a single into left field. Good rounding third. He knew he was scoring all the way, and we are tied once more.
Didn't it seem upon that Hickson was in a roll on the first 2 batters, complete command, and it eluded him a little bit. Franklin worked the count to their favors.
That's what it starts with, that excellent plate discipline that Franklin has. They work you into those long counts. Of course, I think Good rocked Hickson a little bit with that hard hit double, made him doubt some of his stuff. And just like that, you get 2 base hits and 1 run.
Here's DeGiorgio, and he takes a strike on the inside corner. 0-1 on the shortstop for Franklin, the sophomore. Henry DeGiorgio bats in the 5th slot. The stretch by Hickson. A little blooper to left field is going to be hauled in by the shortstop. It hung up for him, and he was able to retire it. DeGiorgio, but Franklin gets a run on 2 hits. And after 1, we're tied at 1, Shrewsbury and Franklin.
So for both teams, it was the one big hit Pete, which allowed that run to score. For Shrewsbury, it was the leadoff double by Andrew Paris, and for Franklin, it was a double by Chris Good. Both teams stretching the field out a little bit. We'll see how much longer that can be sustained for.
The contrast is that Mucciarone started slow and finished strong in the first inning.
Yes.
Hickson started strong and finished slow in the first inning. We'll see if that harbors anything to come here in this game.
Absolutely. That is a fun thing to look out for, because Franklin is known for their incredible starting pitchers. They have Mucciarone on the mound today, and they had Jetty pitch against Bridgewater Raynham, kind of a 1-1A combo. If you like, Jetty has pitched 12 innings so far in the postseason, hasn't allowed a single run yet. And Mucciarone, he's only allowed 2 runs. After that, he had retired 11 straight batters. So with these starting pitchers, you're in good hands if you're Franklin.
And we know Shrewsbury also has good starting pitching. So this should be a dandy. Talking to Coach Brown before the game, he said this should be an outstanding high school game. It's going to be determined by pitching and defense,
yes,
and a little bit of timely hitting. And so that's probably what it's going to come down to. Franklin needs to play solid defense. Remember that Chelmsford game, they had an error or two in the 7th inning. It made things tense, but they pulled it out. And then you mentioned Jetty was just on fire against Bridgewater Raynham.
And Jetty had a phenomenal performance as we went through his stat line. 7 innings, only 4 hits allowed, no runs and 8 strikeouts. He would be on the mound if Franklin can pull this one out. Right now it's on Mucciarone, though.
Here's Colby Coughlin, and he takes a strike. There's the fastest pitch of the game by Mucciarone, right down the middle. Coughlin is a sophomore third baseman for Shrewsbury. A ground ball hit the short. DiGiorgio on the 2-hopper. Throws over to Rader, and plenty of time for the out, and that's 4 retired in a row for Mucciarone.
What a difference an inning makes, right? You start off the first by letting off a double, and then just a soft grounder for an out. As you said, Mucciarone retired 4 straight. We'll see if this starts his groove now.
In the last 3 batters, he's gotten ahead on the count, unlike the first 2. He fell way behind. Here's Jack Bates. He takes it low and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Bates hits number 6. He's the first baseman for the Colonials. Big kid standing in at home plate, and he swings and loops one over everything behind the first base side off a tent for a long strike. Not 1-1, no balls and 1 strike on Jack Bates. Swung on and missed. Bates way behind on the blazing fastball by Mucciarone.
We know that Alfred could get into those high 80s with his fastballs. That was a blazer right there.
No balls and 2 strikes. Top of the 2nd inning. We're tied at 1. Mucciarone, the pitch, strike 3 called. 5 in a row retired by Mucciarone.
And he's really rolling right now. Again, he's upped his velocity, looking a lot more comfortable on the mound right now, and finding the strike zone so much more easier.
And up steps Dushyant Singh, the right fielder, the sophomore for Shrewsbury. He taps a 1-hopper to Marino. It went up to his head on the ground ball. And it's 3 up and 3 down on a breezy inning for Alfred Mucciarone. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. Franklin 1, Shrewsbury 1.
Again, that was quick. Very, very quick. Mucciarone made light work of the Shrewsbury batting order, and now Franklin, just like that, is up to bat once more.
6 in a row retired by Mucciarone. And Franklin in the bottom of the 2nd will send up 6, 7, and 8. Jace Lyons, the designated hitter, Isaac Chin, and Ben Jaros. Beautiful Holy Cross here in Worcester. This has been the host of a number of state championship games going over the years. Also some outstanding college ball, the home of the Worcester Bravehearts.
Yes.
The Worcester Tornadoes played here.
Absolutely.
And Ted Williams played here.
How about that?
Let me tell you something. He's the answer to the this is the answer to the trivia question. Okay. Where did Ted Williams hit his first home run in a Red Sox uniform, not in spring training? The answer, Fitton Field, right here.
Wow. How about that?
But upon the field was configured differently.
Okay.
Home plate was out in left field.
Yes.
And first base was sort of where third base is now. Second, the outfield would be in deep right field right out here.
Okay.
And it was an old-fashioned grandstand, the sound you see in like an old baseball movies.
Yeah.
It was a classic stadium. And so he launched his first home run. The Red Sox played Holy Cross almost every year that back in the 30s in exhibition games before they went over to Fenway.
That's incredible. Great history with this ballpark. Phenomenal ballpark, as you've already seen. Just great sightlines, a great view.
Yep. Jace Lyons takes a ball, 1-0 from Rocco Hickson. We're in the bottom of the second. We're tied at 1. Lyons, the DH for Franklin. Curveball is in there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Be Lyons, Chin, and Jaros in the bottom of the second. The 1-1. A shot hit the third by the third baseman, Coughlin. And down in left field, I'm not sure how they're going to rule that. We'll check the scoreboard to see if we can get something official. It was a wicked shot. Coughlin did not get a hand on the ball. That might be a factor. And they're going to give it a base hit. So we'll give it a hit for Lions. Third hit for the Panthers. And here is Isaac, fielder, throw over to first, and Lions with good speed.
Yeah.
Nippon, he's a threat to go.
Absolutely. Everyone on this Franklin lineup is a threat to go. And if they're not, you have incredible speed with pinch runners that Coach Brown loves to turn to.
Isaac Chin swings and loops one over to second base for a base hit. Lions will pull up at second and hold there. He took a wide turn. Isaac Chin proves, Nippon, you don't have to swing 100 miles an hour. You just laid the bat on the ball.
That's just a pretty swing right there from Chin. Again, excellent contact. That's all you need. That contact point, that ding of the bat sounded so beautiful if you're a Franklin fan, because you know it's going to land in the outfield. And just like that, 2 batters, Franklin has the first 2 on board. As you said, that contrast is very eminent here, Pete, because Mucciarone started a second, got all 3 very comfortably, but now the first 2 are already on for Franklin.
2 on and nobody out. It's a mound visit by Lee Diamantopoulos. Diamantopoulos, a famous name in coaching circles in the Worcester area. I remember Jim Diamantopoulos, I believe it was his dad, a very successful coach at Burncoat High School in Worcester. Now Lee Diamantopoulos at the helm of the Colonials. Here is Ben Jaros, the third baseman, with 2 on. And will Zach Brown flash hit bunt or run over at third base? He's the coach down at third. Jaros in the 8th slot. Anything goes here for Franklin.
A lot of
big lead by Lions off second. And Hickson notices that and bluffs him back. The infield is in on the corners, back in double play depth in the middle. Jaros, possibility of a bunt here. Lions with the big lead, dancing around. Nixon, long look in. There's the square. The pitch is a strike. A ripple on the curveball. That's been his best pitch.
He's turned to that so far. But the problem with the curveball is if you hang it a little too much and the batter takes advantage, that could be swung and hit for miles on miles.
Nothing in 1 on Jaros. Will he still square to bunt? Yes, he gets the bunt down. It's a good one. Fielded by the first baseman over to the second baseman for the out. It goes 3-4, a sacrifice for Jaros, and the runners move up to second and third with 1 out for Joe Terrell.
Well, Jaros stepped up to the batter's box, knew what his job was, and executed it to perfection. A beautiful roller down the first base line. He gets out, but he advances the runners, and now a potential base hit by Joe Terrell, who we know has some power, could give Franklin a 2-run lead.
Good speed on the bases with Lions and Chin. From the full windup is Rocco Hickson. The curveball is a strike. He's starting off the several batters in a row with breaking pitches. He's working backwards. But it's working.
Again, that's something you don't see every day, but it's working right now.
Nothing in 1 on Terrell. The curveball is in there again as Terrell was bending backwards. So Hickson comes back strong, 0-2 on the catcher, the 9th hitter for Franklin, Joe Terrell. The top of the order waits on deck. The 0-2, another curveball. That's high. 3 straight curveballs. How many times do you see a high school pitcher do that?
Not many times, I'll say that. Terrell, of course, we know he finished the regular season with 2 home runs.
Right.
He's got plenty of power.
The 1-2. Terrell swings and taps one foul behind home plate. So he gets a piece and stays alive. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And that was a home run cut right there.
Joe Terrell, the senior catcher. The infield is back. The 1-2, the curveball, he got him off speed. Way out in front was Terrell on that pitch. That is the pitch for Rocco Hickson, the curveball, and it's 2 outs.
A phenomenal pitch. Franklin's going to have to get used to it. Again, as we said, that's not many times where a curveball is the primary pitch for a pitcher, but it seems like Hickson is turning to that time and time again. Franklin's going to have to watch out for that motion.
So now 2 outs, 2 on, and we go to the top of the order, and Ryan Garrity, he grounded out to second in the first inning. Hickson in a strong swing by Garrity, and he fouls it over our heads. We're telecasting between home plate and third base. If you drew a line from first to home, we're a little bit off-centered from that line on the deck here at Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field. The pitch is whacked deep down the right field line. Garrity got all of that, and that had almost home run length, but foul down the right field line. We've seen Garrity, upon get in front of these pitches here in his first 2 at-bats.
Absolutely. As we said, Garrity loves to swing if he sees a pitch that he likes. He likes a lot of these pitches the Northeastern commit does. Nearly hit that one into the football stadium.
Hickson, 0-2 to Garrity. The pitch is hit on the ground to second, fielded there, over to first in time for the out. So Hickson works out of a jam. The Panthers get 2 hits, but they leave them both on. We've completed 2 from Fitton Field on the Holy Cross campus. It's Shrewsbury 1 and Franklin 1.
Yeah, what a way to get out of a jam if you are Shrewsbury. Started out with runners on first and second, nobody out. And Hickson's able to battle back. Of course, he gets a sacrifice bunt, but even then he gets 2 straight outs after that, and Franklin doesn't come away with a run. A major blown opportunity for the Panthers.
The big pitch, of course, was the curveball to Terrell. He got him way off stride. And then, of course, Garrity with the grounder that just rolled down to second base. Pretty tall grass in the infield.
Yes.
Slows the balls up considerably. And that was one of the factors that allowed that rollout to second base. So we've completed 2. And we're even. The winner will place Taunton High School. Will it be the Panthers and Taunton in a Hockomock League matchup? Or will it be the Midwalk entry, the Colonials of Shrewsbury? Here to carry us now for the next 2 innings, my broadcast partner, New York University bound. Here's Nippon Goyle.
Thank you so much, Pete Royce. Again, it's a pleasure to have all of you viewers here watching from home. We're broadcasting from Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field, Holy Cross University, my partner's old stomping grounds.
Yeah, a lot of memories here. It's where I got my start in broadcasting, actually, Nippon, on the college campus station, WCHC. We had a lot of fun covering Holy Cross sports over the years, and they had some good teams, and it was a lot of fun traveling with the team and broadcasting from this very ballpark as well.
That sounds like a great time. So as we head here to the top of the third, Mucciaroni is going to stay on the mound for Franklin. He's got into a groove after allowing a leadoff double, then a run off a ground out. After that, it's been smooth sailing. Mucciaroni has retired 5 straight. Or excuse me, now 1, 2, 3, 4. Has he retired 6 straight?
6
All
in
right.
a row.
We'll give it 6 on the first pitch. However, there's a high fly ball into left center field. Moving on to make the catch is Chris Good. He had to run a long way. May have been in Garrity's territory, but Good called him off and made the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out. Jack O'Sullivan, the catcher, is retired.
Yeah, I think Good had the best angle on that. It was falling fast, but it hung up enough. Mentioned this, the pretty good breeze, not blowing all the time, but when it blows, it does help the pitchers pushing everything back towards the infield.
We're at the 9th man of the order, the second baseman, Ryan Kinski, as he looks at a high fastball for ball 1. Motroni now retiring 7 straight. As there is a rocket. Foul ball hits the seats down the third base side. My goodness, that came off the bat fast.
You know, there's netting for a good portion, but that was beyond the netting, and it rocketed into the stands and bounced around down the left field.
Motroni comes home with a 1-1. Check swing, throws Kinski, but again, a high fastball gets him ahead in the count, 2-1. Again, there's a high fly ball in the left field. This one also sailing towards foul territory. Good looking to make a play on it. And it seems like, again, it drifted foul.
Yep, went out of play.
It'll even the count up. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Kinski having trouble getting around on Mucciarone, 2 straight foul balls to left field. That one, not the rocket like the previous one was, a lazy fly ball.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Ryan Kinski. Mucciarone a long look in, and now he's ready. He fires home. Low, and the count is full.
That one came up about 59 feet.
Just a few feet short of home plate. Terrell made the stop. The payoff pitch on its way. Swing and a line drive, base hit. Oh, excuse me, not a base hit. It sailed and drifted right into the glove of Ryan Garrity. He was standing there and makes the second out of the inning.
Yeah, we said this field plays big.
Yes.
What we mean by that is long dimensions, but the wind brings everything back, and there's a lot of open air. It just kills everything. And though Kinski had one of the hardest hit balls of the game, he gets a fly out to center field.
Up now is Andrew Paris. He set the tone for the game with a well-hit double in the center field that got behind Ryan Garrity. He fouls the first pitch back.
The Franklin defense, upon playing very shallow on Paris. Remember, he hit one almost to the wall on a few hops.
He takes a big swing and a miss right there. And he's behind in the count quickly 0-2. Already getting the impression that Paris, like Garrity, is an aggressive hitter in that leadoff spot for Shrewsbury. The 0-2. Swing and a foul ball. Drifting again towards Taunton. They seem like they're a foul ball magnet back there.
Yeah, I guess they fielded enough balls in the first game. They ducked on that one.
They said, enough for us. We're sitting this one out.
We're getting ready for the finals of the state champ. And they will be there. Taunton High School.
Absolutely.
Out of the Hawk.
The 0-2. Low once more. Motroni trying to get those batters to swing with those fast sinking balls. The only hit of the game for Shrewsbury, Andrew Paris. The 0-2 once more. Swing and a grounder to Giorgio Hessen. Takes a hop off the infield, and it'll sail to the outfield. Paris reaches on base. My goodness, that was a wacky hop. Giorgio slow to walk it off. Gotta wonder what happened there.
It hit, I think, the lip of the infield in the grass and just went right over his, I think, near his head off the right side. Might have took a glancing blow off a fingertip as well. The umpire, base umpire, D'Angelo, talking to him. He's okay. So that breaks a long string of 8 in a row that was retired. The last man to reach was Paris himself.
Yeah, so far, the only base runners have been for Shrewsbury. The only base runner has been Andrew Paris.
Yep. 2 for 2.
There. Again, there's no hit on the board as of right now, but unofficially, I think we'll score that as a single, right?
I think you have to.
Yep.
A bad hop, I think, has to go as a single.
So Paris has a single and a double. Up now is A.J. Ham. He grounded out 4-3 in the first inning.
Other than a few streaks of sun, the entire field now in shadow, and the lights will be beginning to take effect here at Holy Cross.
Again, Motroni getting ahead in the count. 0-1 to Ham. He comes home. Low pitch stopped by Terrell.
You have to keep your eye on Paris. The leadoff hitter typically has some speed. He's a sophomore. Does not have a huge leadoff first, where Evan Rader has been holding him on.
Mucciaroni working from the stretch. He fires back to first. Again, that subtle motion doesn't seem like he's taking a glance at Paris, but he knows he's there and has his every motion tracked down. Once more, he checks on the runner.
It's unfortunate that they took a bad hop, that hit by Paris, because that would have been nine in a row retired.
Yeah, he was working on a really nice streak right there. Runner goes here, and the pitch is skied high into right field, sailing towards foul territory, and it's going to land in the seats. Garrity made a run for it, so did Chin, but it's another foul ball, and Mucciaroni is one strike away from getting out of the inning.
Yeah, Ham, he advanced a runner to third base on his hit in the first inning, which set up their score on another ground ball.
The 1-2 for Mucciaroni, swing and a miss. He struck him out. A wavy swing by A.J. Ham retires the side, and Alfred Mucciaroni is sailing right now. After 2.5 here in Worcester, we're still tied up at 1.
Second strikeout in the game for Mucciaroni, one looking, and that one the swinging K on Ham. So the Panthers have a chance to do some work here in the bottom of the third. We're tied at 1, the state semifinals. Earlier today, Nippon, we have to report that the Franklin girls lacrosse team lost in their quarterfinal match to Lincoln Sudbury High School, whom they had defeated earlier this season, but tonight to no avail out in Lincoln, and the Panthers go down in girls lacrosse tonight.
A heartbreaking end for that Panthers team. They had once more a great season. Coach Guarino has done such a great job with the program. A lot of high hopes. Unfortunately, they could not get over the hump, but so much they've accomplished over the years. Again, that long streak of Hockomock League titles, Hockomock League wins is sure to keep going for the years to come. Hats off to them for a great season.
And the boys are playing tonight as well.
As of right now, the boys are playing Lincoln Sudbury. As you said, Pete, it's halftime there. I mean, this update came from a while ago, but the last update we had, it was halftime where Lincoln Sudbury was winning 7-5. So a close game. Franklin doing everything they can to stay in there. The boys' side looking to punch their ticket to the Elite 8 in that Division I lacrosse playoff.
Well, that'll be exciting. The lacrosse is a little bit behind in terms of the advancement of their tournament. They're in the quarterfinals tonight. Here in baseball, we're in the semifinals.
Yes, they're one run behind, but we'll come back here to the diamond as Jack Marino looks at a strike. Another hanging curveball from Hickson. Hitters 2, 3, and 4 due up for Franklin. Marino grounds that one. It's fielded nicely by the baseman on to first for the out. Only took 2 pitches to Marino. That was a nice Colby Coughlin fielding it off the hop.
Yeah, one big hop. We've seen that a couple of times. He just had that at shoulder high as he came charging in from his third base position. Coughlin still wearing his sunglasses, but not on his eyes, on his cap.
Here comes Chris Good now. He kick-started the Franklin offense with a really well-hit double out to left field. Ended up scoring off an RBI single from Evan Rader. Looked at a ball right there on the first pitch. We'll see how he approaches Good. There's a bit of a golf swing and a miss. A hesitant swing from Good.
I think he was expecting something else than what he got.
The 1-1 from Hickson. Good lines that one again to left field. It's going to be fair for a base hit. Good takes the long run at first, and he is going to stay there with a single. Chris Good, 2 for 2. Well hit balls into left field.
A wise decision by Good to make the wide turn and stop, because Paris got the ball in quickly. It did not roll to the wall. Paris was able to cut it off. Now we see Rader looking down to third base coach Zach Brown. He had to shade his eyes from what little sunshine remains, but it's right in line between third and home.
Rader, of course, drove in good in the first inning. He smacked the ball to center field. Still looking for the signs from Coach Brown. Now he gets them and steps back in the batter's box. First pitch to Evan Rader is low for a ball. Franklin already has 5 hits in the game. Still only 1 attributed to Shrewsbury.
But that's got to be 2 because they don't put in. Oh, now they did put an error up. Okay, so they're gonna call that hit an error. No, they have an error on Franklin, and that doesn't make sense. If it's an error in the game, it's on Shrewsbury because if there's 1 hit, then it would be an error.
I think they're attributing. Oh, good goes here. The pitch there. It's going to be a long throw. Great throw, and it's going to be in time to get him. What a strike from Jack O'Sullivan. He fired it out of the tee. So Ryan Kinski, and good is caught stealing.
Wow, what a bullet by O'Sullivan. And that's the 2nd out of the inning.
And just like that, the bases are empty for Rader. And as you said, Pete, 2 gone now.
Yeah, exactly. Cloud of dust at second base. Good, could not get in there.
Another curveball doesn't quite curve as much as Hickson wanted to. Rader is ahead in the count 2-0. But now with empty bases, what a throw that was from O'Sullivan. The 2-0 home, that falls in there for a strike. Going back to the talk of the scoring, I think what they may have done, Pete, is they attributed an error to DeGiorgio in that last inning, that hopper went off the lip of the infield. Yeah. That's a tough error to take.
I can't see that. There's no way that's got to be an error.
All right.
That's probably the call, but I disagree.
All right.
Yeah, you're right. That's why it would be on the Franklin side if it's posted, but how do you give an error when the ball came up and just it
seemed like it had a mind of its own. The 2-2 to Rader. He swings and fouls. That one back off high above the seats.
All right, so we'll have to go with that and make it 1 hit for Shrewsbury and 1 error for the Panthers.
Long at bat here from Evan Rader. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. He comes home and it gets away. Rader is going to take first base here. He's going to have to stay there. Oh, so excuse me. It seems like the count was full.
Yep.
At that point. It was a payoff pitch. So Rader will land on first. And that makes you wonder, that ball got away. If Good was still on the base path, he might be on the way to 3rd now.
Exactly.
What a difference that makes. As DeGiorgio's up now, he looks at a ball.
Yeah, Coach Brown was trying to get somebody in scoring position with the attempted steal by Good, but I don't know if he knew what O'Sullivan could do behind the plate. Of course, knowing Zach, he probably did have a good scouting thing, but he probably felt Good could outrun the throw.
Coach Brown puts countless hours, as you said, into
attention to detail, scouting, coaching, great game day coach. What a gift he's been to Franklin High School. He's dedicated. Zach Brown.
He's dedicated his life to baseball, and you can see that. Rader has another lead off of first. The pitch to Georgia was grounded softly in the gap. Long throw by the shortstop, not going to be in time. It took a hop. A.J. Ham tried to make the highlight reel play, but DeGiorgio hustles out a single, and Rader will stop at 2nd.
And how big is that caught stealing now?
Exactly.
Wow.
If he got to 2nd safely, it might be a 2-1 Franklin game right now. Nonetheless, Franklin has battled back after that. They've gotten 2 straight base runners and now a runner in scoring position with 1 out for Jace Lyons. He ripped a single his first time up in the 2nd inning as Hickson steps off the mound to check the runners.
Hickson has thrown a lot of pitches in the last couple of innings with a lot of traffic for the Panthers.
The pitch count slowly rising for Rocco Hickson as he turns to that curveball once more and, like it has many times before, falls in the strike zone and gets Lyons behind the count.
It's been his go-to pitch, and it's worked.
2 men on, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Another curveball froze Lions, but this time it doesn't land in the zone and evens the count up. Tense moment here in the bottom of the third inning. Tied at 1 between Franklin and Shrewsbury. The 1-1 check swing from Lions. It gets away from O'Sullivan. Didn't go too far away, however.
He did.
And
they did.
The appeal to first base, they do call it a swing, and now it's a 1-2 count.
Yeah, it was a delayed call. And finally, Sarney looked down to Durso, who raised his right arm. I think it's a good call.
Lions down to his last strike. Hickson ready. The 1-2. In there, call strike 3. Delayed call by Sarney, but he gives him the backwards K to retire the side. What a pitch that was right there from Rocco Hickson. He retires the side and will go to the 4th, still tied up at 1.
I'll tell you, that last pitch, we didn't have a great angle. We're off center here behind home plate, but it looked to me like it was outside.
It did to me as well, but Sarney took a long look, and after some deliberation, he rung him up.
Yep.
And the Lions couldn't believe it, but Shrewsbury was more than ecstatic to get off the field.
Yep. So again, traffic to no avail. The Panthers with 2 runners left on in the last 2 innings. So they've left 4 in 2 and 5 over the first 3 innings.
And those runners left on base might end up being a huge story. In a game like this, you have to make the most of your opportunities. Franklin has done that for the better part of this season. A very opportunistic team. If there's runners on base, they usually drive them home. But this time, Shrewsbury has been up to the task.
Yeah, we'll give Hickson credit. He did battle back. And the key play, though, was the throw out at second base by O'Sullivan, getting good on the attempted steal. Otherwise, Franklin would have had 3 straight batters reach.
Whoa.
They did have 3 reach, but one was eliminated.
We'll head to the top of the 4th here. And so far, Mucciarone has retired everyone in the Shrewsbury lineup except that one guy, Andrew Harris, the leadoff hitter. We'll go to 2, 3, 4, and 5, with Alex Martin, Ben Griffith, and Colby Coughlin 2 up. That started the streak for Mucciarone. He got that long spell of 8 straight retired. Shrewsbury's been here before. In their quarterfinal game against BC High, they had 11 straight retired at one point between the 2nd and 5th innings, but then in the bottom of the 5th, they took their opportunity, scored 4 unanswered runs to take the lead.
Yeah, it's a good team for sure. And what a leadoff hitter they have in Andrew Paris.
Well, right now we'll see Alex Martin. He has the RBI for Shrewsbury, grounded out, which drove Paris home. He swings on the first pitch to Giorgio, fields it off. A low hop throw to Raider in time for the out. Second straight in, we've had 1 pitch and 1 out.
I think all the Franklin fans were holding their breath that it didn't hit the lip of the infield again. And DeGiorgio, his throws to first, he gets it there with just enough.
Absolutely.
In other words, he doesn't extend himself, doesn't make a bad throw, but you're saying maybe this ball could be a little faster over to first base, but he does get his man. Martin is retired.
It's always just enough as Griffith right again to DeGiorgio. He fields it, throws on the first, 2 pitches, 2 outs here. Wow. DeGiorgio being a center of attention in that Franklin defense, making the plays.
He is so smooth down at shortstop. Is Henry DeGiorgio, the 2-sport star for Franklin High School, also plays hoops.
So that's a great way to keep your pitch count low if you're out from Mucciarone.
Yep.
Taking in now is Colby Coughlin. First pitch fires a strike in there as Mucciarone. The 0-1. Another fastball in there for a strike. Mucciarone is dealing right now.
Mucciarone has faced 13 batters and got 11 of them out. The only 2 he didn't get out is the singular Andrew Paris.
The 0-2 in there, called strike 3. A 1-2-3 inning for Mucciarone with ease. He's fired up as he leaves the mound. Gets a hug from James Kuzmic, his teammate, and we'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Shrewsbury can do absolutely nothing in that inning.
1, 2, 3 again for Mucciarone. He is rolling. Other than a bat hop ball, he would have had 3, 6, 9, 12 in a row if that bad hop didn't do him in and break the long streak. But pitching outstanding is the junior right-hander for Franklin, Alfred Mucciarone.
That's Mucciarone's third strikeout of the day. Again, we've seen two different stories bubbling here among the offenses. Shrewsbury struggling to get anything going. Franklin getting those base runners on board, but failing to convert.
That's the key, Nippon. They've had runners on in every inning. One gets across in the first, they leave one, they leave two in the second, leave two more in the third. Had a runner cut down on the bases.
As we turn to the bottom of the fourth, we'll see the bottom three of Franklin's order: Isaac Chin, Ben Jaros, and Joe Terrell. Chin has been on a tear lately. He went 2 for 3 with a double and 2 RBIs against Bridgewater Raynham, and he already has a hit here today. A well-hit ball in the right field. He'll lead things off for the Panthers.
Just looking at the crowd, Nippon, it's really impressive. Tremendous attendance here at Holy Cross.
Yes.
I have to say there's more Shrewsbury fans here. Of course, it's an adjacent town to Worcester, just to the northeast. Franklin a little bit out of the way, but still a tremendous high school turnout. And they're treated to a great venue, and so far a real good baseball game.
It's been a classic so far. A pitcher's duel, some great defense on display. And as of right now, this thing could be going to the wire as we head to the bottom of the fourth. And Isaac Chin takes in.
It's hard to believe we're halfway through this game already.
It's flown by. As the first pitch to Chin is in there for a strike. Hickson still on the mound. Hickson moving quickly. The 0-1 again belted in the center field, going way back and settling under to make the catch is Alex Martin to retire Chin. Second time in a row, Chin has got an excellent contact, but this time he's retired.
He just got under it, and the ball just stayed in the air for a long time. And Martin was able to camp under it and just wait for the ball to settle into his glove. 1 up and 1 down here in the home fourth.
And Jarrow sees his turn up now as he looks at another curveball for a strike. Jarrow in that Bridgewater Raynham game had a phenomenal play, not on the offensive side, but the defensive side. It was a pop-up in the top of the third inning, and he dove along the infield to make a diving catch. It was still scoreless at that point, so that really motivated the Franklin Panthers, got their offense going, the bats moving a little bit, and he was kind of credited as a spark plug for that team. He's behind the count 0-2 quickly. He dribbles that one, high hop over the pitcher. Will be a tough play. It's bobbled between the second baseman and the shortstop, and Jaros will reach.
I think the second baseman, the shortstop, screened the second baseman.
That's what it seemed
and
like.
That caused the ball to elude the second baseman.
They'll give that another hit to Franklin, their 7th of the game. Jaros gets a single. And we have another runner on board for Joe Terrell. Franklin continues the streak of having a runner on base every inning. The ball gets away, and Chin is going to take second. That's Ben Jaros. Jaros takes second, and we have a runner in scoring position.
Nippon, you don't see what happened too often.
No.
A swing and a miss and a wild pitch on the same ball.
Terrell didn't get it, but neither did the catcher O'Sullivan. It rolled all the way to the backstop, and Jaros was able to take the base. The 0-1 to Terrell, high curveball again, trying to get that ball to break. It did not. And we're at 1-1.
Franklin, unless they get an unusual double play defensively, Shrewsbury, Franklin has 2 chances to get Jaros in from second base in scoring position.
Terrell struck out his last time up. He takes a check swing, appeal on there, and he did go indeed. A strike for Joe Terrell, and he's behind in the count 1-2.
Hickson still baffling batters with his off-speed motions, his curveball, his changeup.
The 1-2 swing and a high fly ball deep to left center field. Moving on there to make the catch is Andrew Paris. Terrell is retired, and Jaros has to stay put at second base.
Yeah, long fly, got good wood on it, but hit it right to Paris in left field. And now there's one more chance to get in Jaros from second base in the person of Ryan Garrity.
2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Garrity trying to drive the go-ahead run in for Franklin.
It's kind of a lost art as Garrity takes a strike, but boy, a drag bunt would look pretty good here in the pond. Look how deep the second and first baseman are playing.
There's an opportunity right there, but a difficult craft to master.
It is.
The 0-1 to Garrity. He takes that ball. Garrity is 0 for 2 so far. Both times grounded out from the second baseman to the first. The 1-1. He looks at that one for a strike.
The entire field now in shade under the arc lights here at Fitton Field.
The lights finally starting to take effect as the sun sets. Hickson looks at Jaros a third time now, and finally time is called. He was debating whether to check the runner on second base or fire home, and we have a little hiatus.
Garrity finally asked for time and was granted it by home plate umpire Rich Sarney.
The 1-2 home, swing and a miss. He struck him out. Again, Rocco Hickson gets out of a jam, and Franklin has left their fifth man on base. Sixth, excuse me. We'll head to the fifth, and we're still tied up at 1. Franklin has had chances, but they still can't convert.
7 hits, 6 left on, 1 scored, and that's it as Garrity goes down swinging. Well, a classic game brewing here at Holy Cross. We played 4 complete, 1-1.
It's been a great one so far. As you see, the Panther players, they've had the tradition for a while now, running in between innings the foul pole and back the bench players. A bit of a longer jog for them this time around, but they're continuing it even at this neutral site, this ballpark in Worcester. They like to keep the tradition going.
Absolutely. It keeps everybody loose, and we know that they can pinch run, so you got to keep those players limbered up.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of been a tradition here at Franklin, going back 7 years for Coach Brown having his players stretch out every other inning, I believe.
So Mucciarone still on the mound. He's retired 11 of the last 12 hitters for Shrewsbury. It's been a great outing for him after letting up that one big hit to start off the game. He has really settled and been in a comfortable place.
It's been Mucciarone against the offense named Andrew Paris.
Yes.
For Shrewsbury, and that's been it.
The Shrewsbury Parises.
Right.
Well, we'll see if he can keep it going. To start off the 5th inning, play-by-play is all yours, Pete.
Thanks a lot, Nippon. It'll be 6, 7, and 8 for Coach Lee Diamantopoulos and the Shrewsbury Colonials. Jack Bates, the first baseman, Dushyant Singh, the right fielder, and Jack O'Sullivan, the catcher, against the junior right-hander, Alfred Mucciarone. He struck out 3 so far today. And likewise, Hickson has struck out 3. We're even in many different ways here tonight. First pitch is swung on and missed. A big whiff there by Jack Bates.
The one thing separating those teams today, Pete, is the amount of hits we've had.
That's about it, 7-1. Mucciarone throws. Again, Bates not getting around on the blazing fastball. Game time temperature is 77 degrees. It's probably down to about 74. Still beautiful night here at Holy Cross. The 0-2 home to Bates. Strike 3 call, the 4th K by Alfred Mucciarone.
Oh my, Alfred Mucciarone is locked in right now. He's a machine. Again, his 2nd strikeout in a row, this time the way of the backwards K. And it's really interesting to see the 2 different pitching styles, because Mucciarone, his default is to turn up the heat, go with that fastball, get that hitter swinging, whereas
there's a little squibber by Singh. It takes a funny hop, but Rader settles it down and makes the play 3 unassisted. 2 up and 2 down here in the visiting 5th.
Nearly was a dangerous play.
Yeah.
For Evan Rader. Again, took a wonky hop, but
Looked like a pool cue, didn't it?
Exactly.
So 2 down, nobody on. This will bring up the 8th hitter, Jack O'Sullivan, the catcher. He's figured in this game by throwing out Chris Good, an attempted steal in the 3rd inning. Pitches a strike home to O'Sullivan. He flew out to left field back in the 3rd inning. Pitches low, 1 ball and 1 strike.
But I was going back to those contrasting pitching styles. Mucciarone loves to turn up the heat we've seen, whereas, Hickson, he goes to the off speed. That's his default.
That's his bread and butter pitch. A weak swing there by O'Sullivan as he was off stride. O'Sullivan, a tall catcher. Up there now with 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is the state semifinals. The winner plays Taunton High School for the state championship. The pitch home, a ground ball with Marino. 3 hopper, he gathers it in on 1 knee. The throw to first, in time for the out. 3 up and 3 down. 7 in a row now retired. Another streak brewing for Mucciarone. We go to the bottom of the 5th. We're tied at 1.
Yeah, he said after that, we'll call it a bit lucky, that base hit from Harris where he reached on an error from DeGiorgio. Mucciarone said, how about I do you one better? He's brewing another streak. There's no stopping him right now. And if you have that strong presence on the mound for Franklin, that makes it even better for you as the hitters. You know you have that rock behind you on the mound to protect the tie, protect the lead if you get one. That's going to allow you to be even more aggressive in the batter's box.
There may be some changes coming. We see Diamantopoulos talking to home plate umpire Rich Sarney down below us.
Yeah, it seems like we have a new pitcher, Pete.
We do have a new pitcher. Yep. So pitching, let's get that person for you for Shrewsbury. It's going to be Kevin Hewlett. Hewlett, a senior, in relief of Rocco Hickson. So Hewlett, 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 pitching here in the bottom of the 5th.
And it seems like we have a new catcher too, Pete. Warming him up right now is Noah Johnston, a sophomore. Not sure if that's just his duty and O'Sullivan will return, but as of right now, it seems like the battery we're going to go with is
O'Sullivan made the last out, so he may be putting on his gear.
All right. That makes more sense.
But it's interesting. I thought that Hickson was, here comes O'Sullivan. Okay. I thought that Hickson was on a pretty good roll himself.
Yeah, he seemed comfortable. I think the one thing, he might have been getting a bit tired because those innings were very long from Franklin. They got a lot of base runners on, deep counts. I think the fatigue may have gotten to him.
Through a lot of pitches, exactly. So they go to Hewlett in relief of Hickson. Kevin Hewlett, a senior, also a right-hander. We'll see what kind of stuff he has. We know that Hickson featured the curveball in a good one. You were telling me off air that their designated hitter can also do some pitching, Ben Griffith.
Yes, Griffith. He got some pitches in their last one against BC High, got the last 4 outs for Shrewsbury and looked very comfortable doing so. So he's another option if Shrewsbury needs a quick arm. Didn't get much work against BC High. They might throw him in there.
And the Panthers now beginning to turn the lineup over. They'll be batting for the 3rd time. Be Marino, Good, and Rader, 2, 3, and 4, and Good hits it twice. He hit it and then fouled it back on his back off his bat before he left the batter's box. That's a strike. Nothing in one on Marino. He struck out swinging in the 1st and grounded out to 3rd in the 3rd, up for his 3rd time. 2, 3, and 4 for the Panthers in the 5th. Curveball is popped up. Third baseman is Colby Coughlin, and he gets it as the ball bends back towards third base. 1 up and 1 down, and a good start for Hewlett.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Good start from Hewlett. It's always good if you can get that first man out because now you're facing a powerhouse at the plate in Chris Good. He's 2 for 2 today with a double and a single halfway to the cycle.
There you go. The windup by Hewlett. The pitch home was swung on and fouled back, way out of play. Over everything on the first base side. Nothing in 1 on Chris Good. He doubled and scored the Panther run in the 1st inning. Singleton was caught stealing in the 3rd. And there's a line shot into the right field. It's in for a base hit. And Chris Good is 3 for 3.
Well, the same way Mucciarone is locked in on the mound, Good is locked in the batter's box. Another well-hit ball, got just enough to sail it into the outfield for a single. And Franklin, again, has a runner on base.
And it's amazing. You look at the big scoreboard in right center field, 8 hits for the Panthers, 1 for Shrewsbury, but we're tied at 1.
How about that?
Pitch home to Rader. A nice stop by O'Sullivan to keep that from going to the backstop. 1-0 on Evan Rader. Rader has singled and walked, so he's also perfect.
It's the dangerous 3-4 tandem for Franklin. Rader in the cleanup spot.
And Rader has the RBI for the Panthers. He hits a long fly to right center field, way out there, and the right fielder misjudged it, and it falls in for a base hit. But Good had to hold up. It's a double. Good wasn't sure, and that's a safe play because it looked like the right fielder was going after it in slow motion.
Yeah, it seemed like the ball was sinking so fast, the fielders were just running not fast enough to get to it.
Right.
It seemed like it would bounce and then roll all the way to the wall, which would have allowed Good to score, but it just sank in there. They were able to stop it, and Good was able to hold at third.
And Hewlett is coming out.
Wow.
Hewlett is coming out of the game. Now, Who are they going to go to? Somebody out of the bullpen. Hewlett faces 3 batters and retires 2. The third pitcher for Shrewsbury is on the hill now, and he's got his work cut out for him. We'll get you his name in a minute. We'll have that for you right now. On the mound is Benjamin Griffith. You called it. Yep. He's their designated hitter, so they lose the DH. Mm-hmm. They lose the DH.
Wow.
And Griffith was warming. You mentioned it the moment ago that he finished the game against Catholic Memorial.
It seems like this game might be his to finish as well, but now he's entering in a big jam. Runners on second and third, 1 out.
And it's only the 5th inning. Yes. So if he's going to go, he's got 2.5 innings to go.
Instead of 4 outs, he's got at least 8 outs to get right now.
There you go. He's a right-hander, Griffith. We'll see if he's the answer for Coach Lee Diamond-Topless. Griffith is a junior, so Hewlett pitches to 3 batters, gets 1 out, and Ben Griffith comes in as the DH and pitches with 1 out in the 5th, and he's going to face Henry DeGiorgio, a right-hander. Now, DeGiorgio can do some things with the bat. Yep. I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bunt action, maybe a safety squeeze, where if he gets the ball down, but DeGiorgio also had a nice single his last time at bat. So who knows? That's why Coach Zach Brown is down there and why you and I are up here. That's
absolutely right. With this field playing so big, really all he needs to do is put the ball in play in the outfield. The sacrifice fly is an open option as well if he can lift it up and get enough contact on it. But right now, it doesn't matter how you do it. It matters whether you do it or not, and get that runner on board, as we'll have a pinch runner here for Evan Rader.
Jacob Crisilio will pinch run for Rader. Crisilio, pinch running. Here in the 5th.
And the strategy game begins to begin now for Coach Brown. You have a pinch runner on the bases now. It's going to be a matter of when
and look
and
at
how
the
you
infield,
send them.
Nippon. They're bringing it in. Everybody in. This makes a 250 hitter a 350 hitter.
They're anticipating that squeeze, as he said.
DeGiorgio from Ben Griffith. Here's Griffith's pitch to pop up behind us. There was no bunt there by DeGiorgio. He was wailing away, and he got a good swing on it, but fouled it off.
Well, with an infield like this, you got to be swinging.
Everybody in tight. No balls and 1 strike. We're in the bottom of the 5th. We're tied at 1. Franklin again with 2 runners on. The 0-1 pitch is flying deep down the right field line and out of play. That might have had home run length.
Yeah.
Maybe a little short. 0-2 on DeGiorgio. So Griffith in relief. Takes a deep breath on the hill. Shrewsbury won. Franklin won. Bottom of the 5th. It's a 7-inning game. The 0-2 in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Griffith with some good speed.
Yeah, his pitching style very similar to that of Mutroni. He's a traditional pitcher. The fastball seeming like his go-to.
1 ball and 2 strikes. DiGiorgio from the left side. He lines one into center field for a base hit. Around is good. He's going to score. Here comes the second runner, Crisilio. He's going to make it standing up. It's a 2 RBI single for Henry DiGiorgio. The Panthers lead 3-1.
Franklin was building and building momentum after all these innings, and now, once they have an opportunity, they finally convert. DiGiorgio hits it on a rope into center field. The pinch runner pays dividends with Crisilio's speed. He was rounding third and heading home all the way, and Franklin goes up 3-1.
You're right, Napon. I'm not sure Raider scores on that.
I don't think he does.
And here's Jace Lyons. He singled and struck out his first 2. Franklin 3, Shrewsbury 1. Lyons takes it high, ball 1. What a game. DiGiorgio now a pop-up in 2 straight singles. 2 RBIs for the talented shortstop.
And how much more comfortable does this make Alfred Mutroni on the mound, working with a 2-run cushion now?
1-0 to Lyons. That's in the dirt. 2-0. Franklin has had a lot of traffic. 10 hits in the game. 3 runs to 1 hit and 1 run for Shrewsbury. 2 balls and no strikes to Lyons. The DH, the throw to first. It's close.
Oh, my.
Oh, that was mighty close. And the first base umpire, Tom Durso, says safe. Oh, that would have been something. DiGiorgio trying to stretch a lead. Jace Lyons at home plate, batting for the 3rd time. The DH, the 2-0 home. Lyons takes it for a strike. It eluded O'Sullivan. That was on the inside corner, if that, but called a strike by Rich Sarney.
Really painting the corners right there. It fell in, and then even O'Sullivan couldn't handle that movement.
2-1 now on the 6th hitter in the lineup for Franklin. Jace Lyons, the junior designated hitter. 2-1. That's called low. 3 balls and 1 strike. On deck, Isaac Chin, who's got a single tonight.
Hitters count for Lyons. He batted almost 500 in the regular season. Knows how to get on base.
3-1, a hitter's count for Lyons. The throw to first, and DiGiorgio is back safely. Even though it's 10 hits to 1, it's a close ball game, anybody's game at this point. 3-1 is your score. Lyons at the plate. The 3-1 pitch is fouled off to right to the first base side. So it'll go full. We'll watch DiGiorgio now with the full count. Zach Brown at third. Flashing signals.
Yeah, good point to make. Giorgio very quick. He can definitely have the speed to take second if he wants. We'll see what Coach Brown does.
The look over to first by Griffith in relief. The payoff pitch will not come. The throw to first. So Griffith himself knows that it's a steal situation, a hit and run anyway, for the Panthers with 1 out and 1 on in the bottom of the 5th. Griffith stretches and throws home. It's strike 3 called, and Lyons takes a strike called for the 2nd out of the inning, the 2nd time he's gone down looking.
And Griffith really battled back from that. Behind in the count 3-1, he fires home some really great pitches. That strikeout pitch was phenomenal. Just got the left half of the plate, froze Lyons, and now there's 2 gone.
4th strikeout of a Panther, first by Griffith. Hickson had 3, and Isaac Chin takes a ball, 1-0 on Chin with DiGiorgio at first base. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Remember, we play 7 innings tonight, as the whole tournament has been 7-inning affairs. Chin has singled and flew out to center field back in the 4th. His single came in the 2nd. The 1-0. That's a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. On deck is Ben Jaros, who factored into the game with a sacrifice fly and also has a single. So he's perfect, rather a sacrifice bunt. Not a fly. He does not have an RBI. He's 1 for 1 though. 2-0 on Ezig Chin. Curveball is not called. Sarney shakes his head at home plate, saying, no, sir. 3-0 on Chin.
Well, Chin, known for swinging his bat, getting that power hitter status. Now in a 3-0 count, he might have to let up and try to reach base.
The stretch by Griffith. The 3-0 pitch. Griffith takes it all the way, ball 4. Again, the Panthers with 2 more runners on.
And it seemingly happens with 2 outs. It seems like the later the inning goes, the more the Panthers are determined to get those runners on base and start a rally. That happened in the first inning. The first 2 were retired, but then Good had the double and Rader with a single. So the Panthers really fighting tooth and nail for the entirety of the inning.
Panthers have left 6 runners on base over the first 4 innings. They have 2 on here for Ben Jaros. We mentioned the sacrifice bunt and the single. He advanced as far as second on a wild pitch, but was stranded there. Griffith checks his runners and delivers, and Jaros takes the strike. 0-1 on Ben Jaros. Jaros the junior. The stretch by Griffith. Checks the runner off second, and now will pitch home. Curveball does not come in. 1-1 on Ben Jaros. On deck, Joe Terrell. At the bottom of the order here, this is the 8th hitter in the lineup batting. Terrell, the 9th hitter on deck. Hopes he can bat this inning. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ben Jaros. Long pause, and now the look in. Jaros hits one, caught by the second baseman, Rocco Hinsky, on the line drive. That saved a run. And Jaros with a loud out. The Panthers with 2 runs on 3 hits and 2 more left. The Panthers have stranded 8. We go to the top of the 6th. Franklin 3 and Shrewsbury 1.
The Panthers strand base runners, but the important part is they get runners to cross home plate and give them the lead. That was a great play by Kinski, where he had to leap and really elevate, just got it from the web of his glove and caught the out. If that goes through him, I think there's a potential that at least 1 run scores, 2 runs might even score, and the Panthers may blow this open even more. But as we head to the 6th, the Colonials down to their final 6 outs. Mucciarone is still on the mound looking for his 2nd straight 6th inning performance here in the playoffs.
And you wonder if the pattern holds true. When will Zach Brown go to his bullpen to relieve Mucciarone? He usually does it in the last inning.
Yes.
So maybe 1 more inning?
I think 1 more inning is in him. Of course, the pitch count has been relatively low for Mucciarone again today. He's had a lot of those 1-pitch, 2-pitch outs, and he's been really rolling. We saw against that Chelmsford game in the 7th inning, Mucciarone was rolling. They put James Cosmic, the closer, in. He ran into some trouble. It'll be a tough decision for Coach Brown to make, assuming Mucciarone makes it through this inning without any trouble.
6 outs to go for the Panthers. I turn it now to my broadcast partner. Here's Nippon.
Thank you so much, Pete. Once more, the Panthers 6 outs away from punching their ticket to the state final of the MIAA Division I baseball playoffs, and another date with the Taunton Tigers, trying to make it an entirely Hockomock League affair. Right here, Kinski leads off in the 6th, the second baseman who made that phenomenal play to end the inning previously. He squares up initially for a bunt. The pitch is outside, and Kinski was able to pull back, resulting in a ball.
The first 5 innings, the Panthers have all come up to the plate twice. The first 5 innings, the Colonials have all come up to the plate twice. In the same amount of time, the Panthers 3 times. That's the disparity in base runners here today.
Franklin with 10 hits, Shrewsbury with 1, as there's a fastball in there for a strike. And now we see James Cosmic, the aforementioned closer for Franklin, exiting his dugout, running to the bullpen, getting warm-ups in. Another fastball in there for a strike to Kinski. 2-2 the count. Mucciarone looking to retire his 8th straight man. The 2-2. In there, called strike 3. Once more, Mucciarone freezes his man. Kinski goes down looking, another backwards K, and there's one up and one gone.
5 strikeouts in the game now for Mucciarone. This game is taking shape very similar to the Chelmsford game 2 games ago, when Mucciarone got on a great roll, but was relieved for the final inning.
We'll go to the top of the order, and the only man who has had something on Mucciarone today, Andrew Paris. He laced a double in the first inning and then reached on an error attributed to Henry DiGiorgio in the 3rd inning. Now looking to kickstart the offense once more for Shrewsbury. They need it, but he takes a big cut and a miss, and he's even in the count 1-1.
Pretty good swing for a little guy at the plate. Andrew Paris, the sophomore left fielder. He's got a good future ahead of him.
The 1-1. That pitch is outside, and Mucciarone again turning up the heat. The 2-1 this time. Again, it's outside. Mucciarone trying to place the ball in a place where Harris can't quite get it, but he'll still swing at it. The 3-1 pitch. There's a swing and a miss, and he got that pitch in the place he wanted.
Yeah, and Paris was expecting it, but he just couldn't catch up to it.
A full count to Andrew Paris. Alfred Mucciarone deals the payoff pitch. Swing and a line drive. Stopped by Jaros. He comes up to his feet, throws on a first in time for the out. Great play by Ben Jaros. The gather, the get up, and the throw. And Mucciarone has retired 9 straight.
Smooth play by Jaros. He looks so calm there.
Yes.
Just scooping up. That was not an easy play. It was kicking up a lot of dirt as it hit a couple of bounces in the dirt in front of him.
And for the first time this game, Andrew Paris has been retired.
That's noteworthy. He's been the nemesis.
This brings up A.J. Ham. He'll look at a strike as well. Ham's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. The 0-2. Oh, it's a 1-1. Excuse me. I read the scoreboard wrong. Now we're even at the count. Mucciarone fires a strike in there. Oh, excuse me. Oh, the count is 0-2 now. Mucciarone 1 strike away. He deals. Swing and a foul back. It hits the tent once more, going in that Taunton area.
It's been a great venue here. The concession stands have been open. People enjoying food in the stands. Just a great venue for high school baseball.
Perfect summer night. The 0-2 from Mucciarone. That's low. Mucciarone looking to retire his 10th straight man. And Joe Terrell comes off his place. Quick conference with his pitcher, making sure they're on the same page.
The at-bat really, though, on the mound for Mucciarone was the Paris at-bat that he just got the out on. He fell behind 3-1 and came back with 2 straight pitches that Paris finally put in play, but the ground out to shortstop. Good comeback from Mucciarone, and now he's still ahead here of Ham.
Alex Martin would be up if Ham can reaches. The 1-2. Swing and a grounder to Giorgio. Running on. He can't scoop it up, however, and Ham will reach. DeGiorgio was charging on, looking to make the exchange. It never got there, never escaped his glove, and another error for Franklin.
Yeah, that definitely is an error on Henry DeGiorgio, and this brings the potential tying run to the plate with their 3rd hitter, the left-hander Alex Martin.
So the second time an error by DeGiorgio today has broken a long streak of players retired, as on the first pitch swinging, Martin laced it nicely, just drifted foul down the 3rd base line.
Yeah, that would have been trouble if it was 3 more feet to the right.
The 0-1 from Alfred. There's a swing and a tapper. That's going to get through for a base hit down the 3rd base line. So Shrewsbury finally awakening the bats. A base hit by Alex Martin, and now the tying run is on base for the Colonials.
For their cleanup hitter, who is the designated hitter slash pitcher, Ben Griffith. What a spot for him.
And Coach Brown is coming to the mound. We'll see if this is the end of the line for Alfred Mucciarone.
It's a slow walk by Brown. That could be it. Ready in the right field bullpen is James Kuzmic.
Here's the conference. We'll
No
figure out.
signal yet.
As of right now, it seems like Mucciarone's staying in.
Kuzmic's just waiting out there in right field. No signal. If Brown goes to Kuzmic, it'll be a four-out save attempt, but no indication yet. Now they haven't really ripped the cover off the ball this inning.
No.
Right, an error to the shortstop and an off-field hit to oppo-field hit. And Kuzmic is not coming in. It's going to be Mucciarone to face the cleanup hitter, Ben Griffith.
How about
Wow, what drama here from Holy Cross.
this? Really ramping up. We know that Shrewsbury has a flair for this kind of stuff in the season. They've played in many close games. Crowd getting into it. What a position we're in right now. The tying run on base for Ben Griffith. As the first pitch from Mucciarone is grounded up the middle, and that is going to be stabbed by DeGiorgio. Throw on a play. It is in time. What a play by Henry DeGiorgio. A stab, the throw, and the out to retire the side. My goodness.
Does he make up for the errors or what on that play? Oh, that was ticketed for center field. A high bounce.
Oh.
We've seen so many of those high bounding balls, but that time it did Franklin a favor by staying so high because he could reach it, not having to bend down. And from that upward position, he rifled it over to Raider in time.
What a play from Henry DeGiorgio. That gets Mucciarone through the inning. And better yet, just when it seemed like Shrewsbury was building momentum,
Oh, definitely.
the pitch gets them out of the inning without a run scored, and they're down to their final 3 outs.
And how about Coach Brown making the right move by keeping Mucciarone in there? He might have been on fumes, but he got the job done.
He had just enough to get that one out. As we'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning, Shrewsbury gets their second hit of the game, but Franklin still clearly outpacing them in that category, winning 10-2.
I'll tell you one other thing about that inning. Even
Yep.
though you don't want to see the error
Yep.
by DeGiorgio, it let in 2 more base runners. It does get through 3 and 4. So now you have 5, 6, and 7
Yes.
batting in the top of the 7th, not 3, 4, and 5.
And
And
those,
not to say that they can't hit either, but you don't have the cleanup hitter, the number 3 hole hitter batting in the next inning
Absolutely.
for Shrewsbury.
as you said, Pete, those players, 5, 6, and 7, Coughlin, Bates, and Singh, none of them have reached base today.
No. So that could be not the way you want it. You want it.
Yes.
I would take 4, 5, and 6 in
absolutely.
the 7th inning if you could have gotten 1, 2, 3 that inning.
Yes.
But nevertheless, we'll take advantage of that. And Kuzmic most likely will be on now in the 7th inning. But Franklin still with a chance to add on here in the 6th.
If that is the end of the line for Alfred Mucciarone, what an outing once more for the junior right-hander.
Tremendous.
6 innings pitched, had that 1 hit, had 2 hits allowed, 1 earned run, but he was phenomenal. 2 long stretches of 7 straight retired and 9 straight retired.
5 strikeouts to mix it in, that blazing fastball, enough off speed to keep the batters honest. And other than Paris, and then finally a single by Martin and an error allowed Ham to reach from 4 through the bottom of the order. Perfect by Mucciarone. That's some pitching for the junior right-hander.
We'll start off the bottom of the 6th here in Worcester. Joe Terrell leading things off for the Panthers. The catcher swings at the first pitch, and it just sails foul down the third base line. Terrell for days 0 for 2. He struck out and flew out to left field. Trying to pull that ball into left. He gets that one. It goes off the glove of Griffith. Will be a tough play. The throw over is not going to be in time. Terrell hustles it out and has the leadoff man on board. It will be a single.
Yep, because it went off Griffith and rolled towards the third baseman. He had to chase it down. Terrell with good speed down the line. He beats it out.
Terrell gets the single for Franklin.
He's going to be pinch run for.
Franklin loves to do this all the time. Terrell gets in the dugout, has enough time to get his catcher's gear on, and Luke Sidwell, one of the fastest Panthers, is going to stay on first base. Again, the chess game being played by Coach Brown, whether you send the runner or not, especially in an inning like this.
Potential big insurance run down at first base for the Panthers.
And we're at the top of the order with Ryan Garrity, the throw over, and sliding safely is Sidwell.
But this game's had a little bit of everything, hasn't it? Some strong defense, good pitching, timely hitting.
It's checked off all the boxes for a classic.
We haven't seen a long ball, but we've seen pretty much everything else.
Garrity squares up. He lays it down beautifully down the third base line. It just rolls foul.
Wow. Coughlin came in. He had a notion to pick it up, and then he decided to let it go. And once it's foul, you have to hit it and make it stay foul.
Coughlin bet on himself and won. With that foul ball rolling by Garrity, you can tell the approach for Franklin is right now, try to get that runner to round the bases.
Yeah, exactly. We had a play in high school with this situation. You have a runner on first, you bring the third baseman in, you make him field the bunt, and as the first base runner, you tag sight and you keep going to third.
They throw over to first once more, and diving safely is Sidwell. Garrity today is 0 for 3. He's grounded out second to first 2 times, and he's struck out.
You love to have your leadoff hitter in this situation upon because he can do some things with the bat.
Absolutely. The 0-1 to Ryan. He swings and misses, but taking second is going to be Sidwell. The heady play, it bounces into the outfield, but not far enough for Sidwell to go to third. He noticed there was no one covering the bag, so he said, hey, let me take it.
Yeah, and O'Sullivan shaking his head behind home plate. I'm not sure he knows what happens there.
Oh.
Kind of what happened also was that Garrity swung to help protect the runner going down the second. That gives the catcher a little more to think about.
A miscommunication on the base path for Shrewsbury. Puts Sidwell in scoring position. Still nobody out for Ben Griffith. He comes home with the 0-2. Swing and a little check swing. Fielded by Coach Brown. What a play by the Franklin skipper.
He gets a big hand from the Franklin bench. Zach Brown with the line drive catch right in the kitchen.
Those soft hands really doing him one right there. As the count remains 0-2 on Garrity. Griffith looks back. Now he comes home. Swing and a foul back. Was heading for the seats, but the protective netting caught it.
Nice at bat for Garrity. He's had a bunt that rolled foul and some tough foul balls here. Well, line shot to third. Now this one, he had a good swing on it. Franklin with 3 chances potentially to get the pinch runner Sidwell home for an insurance run in the 6th.
He's fought off a lot of good pitches here. Ryan Garrity, the 0-2 once more. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Garrity tried it, but Griffith just blew it past him, and that's the first out of the inning.
Just a nice pitch by Griffith, the 5th Franklin Panther to go down. Hickson had 3, and Griffith now has 2 Ks.
Second strikeout for Ryan Garrity, which will bring up Jack Marino. Sidwell still at second. That's a huge insurance run on the base path for Franklin right now. Griffith looks, now he comes home. Off-speed pitch, freezes Marino, and it falls in there for a strike.
Yeah, another good breaking pitch by Griffith.
Griffith came in. He allowed that base hit from DeGiorgio. Man, has Henry DeGiorgio been the star of the game so far? He has so far the game-winning runs, and then that excellent play at shortstop.
Absolutely.
The 0-1.
It also shows, Nippon, don't keep your head down after making an error. Look at how he's contributed. He's had the 2 RBIs, the single, the play to retire, their cleanup hitter in the last inning. Wow.
He's made those 2 errors attributed to him seem insignificant.
Exactly. And one of the errors, a questionable call, in my opinion. Bad hop hit.
The 0-2 to Marino. Tough pitch, but Rich Sarney.
Haven't we seen that pitch called a strike?
Yeah, that seemed like a good one to me. But the count goes to 1-2, and Marino has a second life. Griffith's ready. He deals. Again, that falls in there, And once more, Sarney forgoes the strike 3 call, and the count's even at 2 apiece.
Might have been a little bit low, although some of the umpires in the stands along the Shrewsbury side thought differently.
We have a lot of those.
What a great crowd here for both sides. Fantastic here at Holy Cross.
It's a great atmosphere. You couldn't ask for anything better. Now the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Moreno goes down on strikes. 2 Ks in a row for Griffith. And just like that, there's 2 outs.
6 strikeouts for the Panthers offensively here today.
But hey, coming up now for the Panthers is the man you want. Number 21, Chris Good, who's 3 for 3 today with a double and 2 singles.
He scored 2 times on those 3 hits. Now he has a chance to knock one in.
Yeah, trying to bring Sidwell home now. He has been locked in the batter's box so far. And we have time called. And I think they're going to intentionally walk him. That's what they're doing. Good is going to take first.
So
wow.
Diamantopoulos heard your comments, the Shrewsbury coach, about what a strong hitter Good is. And he says, okay, if it's good for Nippon, it's good for me. Let's walk him.
I mean, you can do that, but now bring up Evan Rader. That's not much better for Shrewsbury. He's also 3 for 3
He's
today.
only your cleanup hitter.
Only your cleanup hitter has an RBI base hit, has a single, a double, a walk. This Panthers lineup is littered with power. The first pitch to Rader. Off speed falls in there for a strike.
Rader does have an RBI. So he knocked in the first run. He knocked in Good, who just took the ball 4. Perfect night for Good. Perfect so far for Rader.
Evan Rader looking to blow this game open here. 3-1 Franklin in front, but 2 men on the bases, 2 outs. The 0-1. Another off speed falls in there. Griffith is locked in right now. He's throwing some great pitches.
They must coach that at Shrewsbury, do you think? Curveballs
seems
and
like
off-speed, huh?
That has been their go-to a lot of times.
That's good coaching, really, in my opinion. It's some pretty good talent to be able to pull it off, too, on the mound.
Griffith's trying to get out of the jam. The 0-2. It falls low.
That fastball looks so fast after throwing in that slow stuff.
Evan Rader stays alive in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Griffith delivers. Swing and a miss. He strikes out the side. Ben Griffith, what an outing. Rader chases at a high fastball, gets nothing of it. We'll head to the 7th, and the Panthers are 3 outs away from advancing to the state championship.
Yep, it's going to be up to the pitcher, and I believe it's going to be James Kuzmic. We'll wait for the official word.
No, it seems like Mucciaroni's still on the mound, Pete.
We will see here.
He's warming up.
It's going to be Mucciaroni? We have not seen this. He's gone to his bullpen in this situation. You know, we talked about it in the Chelmsford game. He was rolling 11 in a row. Would he come out for the 7th? No. And now, after a little bit of a shaky 6th inning, he did face 4 batters that inning. 2 reached. He's going to come out to seal it.
How about this? Alfred Mucciaroni going for the complete game. It will be the 2nd complete game in a row tossed by a Franklin pitcher, as Jacob Jetty threw a complete game shutout just in the last game, the round of 8 against Bridgewater Raynham.
And it may be because of what we've commented on, that the 5 through 9 players have not reached base against him.
Yes, that's
so
also
he's
a
going to
factor.
go with him.
Absolutely.
He's going to have Coughlin, Bates, and Singh here in the 7th inning.
Shrewsbury down to their final 3 outs. Here to take us home is Pete Royce.
Thanks a lot, Nippon Goyle, to throw down a second base. We're ready to go in the visiting 7th inning. Franklin 3 and Shrewsbury 1. Shrewsbury out of the Midwalk League, the number 4 seed in the tournament. The Franklin Panthers, the number 1 seed, and the number 1 seed in the tournament, and number 1 in the scoring column right now. They lead it 3-1 in the 7th. Here's Colin Coughlin, the 3rd baseman. He rounded out to short and took a 3rd strike. Only his 3rd time at bat. Pitches a strike on a blazing fastball to Coughlin. 0-1.
Mucciaroni has not lost any velocity on his fastball so far.
Still firing away. The long look in for Terrell. The wind by the junior right-hander. It's a low ball. 1 ball and 1 strike to Coughlin. 5, 6, and 7 for Shrewsbury. Here in the 7th inning. 1-1 home. It's a ground ball to second. Marino bobbles it, picks it up, throws, dropped by the first baseman. Wow. You rarely see that.
Oh, my.
It's going to be an E3. The ball was there. I mean, maybe the fact that Marino bobbled it threw Raiders timing off a little bit, but he still had time. The runner was fast approaching, but he still had time to haul it in on a kind of a routine catch down there.
That had the comings of a bang, bang play. First, the bobble by Marino. That may have rushed his throw a little bit too, Pete. He had to throw it off, kind of helter-skelter, high toss, but Raider, you can't corral it. Now the tying runs at home plate.
Bates swings and fouls it back. Bates has struck out twice, both looking. The potential tying run at the plate on an error for the Panthers, their 3rd of the game. I believe it's on Raider. I'm not positive of that. The throw was there. Strike 2 now on Bates. Bates does not take a big cut. He has a compact stroke, but it looks like it's a powerful stroke. And now with very little wind blowing here at Fitton Field, 1 launched could tie up this game.
Nothing comes easy for these Franklin Panthers.
Mucciarone, the 0-2. Bates takes strike 3, the 3rd straight time he's been caught looking. The 6th strikeout from Mucciarone. 1 out in the 6th. Here is Dushyant Singh, the right fielder, the sophomore. He's grounded out to second and grounded out 3 unassisted.
And both times he swung at the first pitch. We'll see what he does this time.
1 out and 1 on in the 7th. He takes a strike, shoulder high on the outside half. Mucciarone still with good speed. 0-1 on Singh. O'Sullivan, the catcher, on deck. Pitch home. Singh hits a line drive into right center field for a base hit. The tying runs are on base.
What a clutch hit by Dushyant Singh right there. He roped that one in the center field, got all of it. Mucciarone came home with the speed, but Singh said, let me do you one better. The tying run on first base with only 1 out now. The drama keeps building, Pete.
Zach Brown is still going with Mucciarone. Kuzmek is warming again in the bullpen. O'Sullivan, the 8th hitter, he's flied out, and he's also grounded out.
So we said those 5, 6, and 7 hitters, they hadn't reached base until this point, but they start off with an error, now a base hit, and suddenly you have a situation here.
2 runners on. The pitch is outside, ball 1, and the Shrewsbury fans are alive here at Fitton Field.
Yeah, it's getting loud right now.
Kuzmek still warming. Zach Brown still going with his junior right-hander, Mucciarone. 1 ball and no strikes. Pitch home, swung on and missed by O'Sullivan, who took a big rip.
What a pitch.
Might have chased the ball.
Yeah, that was a low pitch, a pitch intended to get him to chase, and he chased indeed.
1 ball and 1 strike on Jack O'Sullivan. 1 out in the 7th. Mucciarone's pitch home. O'Sullivan hits a shot into left field for a base hit. Fielded up there by Good. He's going to hold the runners. The bases are loaded.
Oh my goodness.
With 1 out, and the 9th hitter is up.
Now you have to wonder how long Coach Brown keeps Mucciarone in there. He's still in the dugout. The tying run in scoring position. Well, a pinch runner. This crowd is alive.
A pinch runner, Cameron Marcus, is running for O'Sullivan. Will Zach Brown make a move? So it's a pinch runner for O'Sullivan. Marcus. Pinch running for O'Sullivan, got a nice hit. And here comes Zach Brown with the slow trot out from the dugout.
And this might do it for Mucciarone. Again, an incredible outing by the junior. He gave it his all. He should receive a huge ovation if he comes off the mound indeed. But right now, Franklin needs to get these 2 outs.
No signal yet by Brown. Will he stay with Mucciarone or go to the bullpen? It's a long conversation.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like Mucciarone's coming out as of right now, which would be a real surprise in my opinion.
Here comes the home plate umpire to break it up. Brown waiting for the umpire to get out to the mound. He does. Sarney. Brown continues the conversation. Had a lot to say.
Look at this.
Usually when they come out, they break it up, but not this time. And he's keeping Mucciarone in there.
Wow. Wow. I am stunned. I guess Coach Brown said, Alfred, you got us here. This is your mess to clean up right now.
Okay, he wanted to know if Mucciarone was ready.
Okay.
And they signaled that he was. So here is Rocco Kinski, the second baseman, hits in the 9th slot. He's lined out to center field and took a call third strike. The tying run is in scoring position. The lead run at first base. The pitch home is a ball to Kinski. Kinski, a small figure at home plate, poses a smaller strike zone for Mucciarone, who's well up in the pitch count now. Bases loaded, 1 out. Pitch home. Kinski fouls it. It was heading right to me, but it hit the netting, and a good rip by Kinski.
That stopped my heart right there.
And let me tell you something, Nippon. The outfield is not playing deep. If Kinski lofts one, he could clear the bases. Nothing in 1 ball and 1 strike rather to Rocco Kinski.
A strikeout here would be huge for Mucciarone.
3-1 Panthers, but the bases are loaded with Colonials in the 7th. High drama for the state semifinals. The stretch by Alfred Mucciarone. The pitch home. Kinski takes ball 2.
He's really trying to get Kinski to chase at those pitches. He's not offering.
And
nowhere to put him.
On deck, Andrew Paris.
Oh, no.
Paris, the leadoff hitter. Been up 3 times, has reached base twice. 2-1 home is fouled ball back, and Kinski went lunging for that ball. He helped out Mucciarone big time. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
If he didn't get anything off that and the ball still went to the backstop, a run would score right now and the runners would advance.
Exactly. Bases loaded. 2 out, 1 out. 3-1 Panthers. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mucciarone swings and Kinski pops one up to third base. It's down the left field line. It's going to be foul and not caught. It might have hit the skin out there, the barrier, and it's a long fly ball, and Kinski is still up at the plate. It was out of our view, but apparently it hit the fence that comes down as Jaros tried to lean in and pull it back. It's 2-2 again to Rocco Kinski. The stare in by Mucciarone from the stretch. The 2-2 pitch home is fly deep to left field. Way out there, going back is good. He makes the catch. The one will score, and they throw to the right base, but he overthrows the base. And this is going to bring a player to third base. That's an automatic base because it hit the stands. Are they going to allow a run to score? Are they going to allow a run to score? This is going to be a difficult call. If the ball sailed in, they may give an extra base to the runner.
They're holding him.
They may get him back. They may get him to score. That's the discussion. You get 3 on the throw and 4 on the ball into the stands. We could have a tie game. It's a tie game.
Wow. What a rally by Shrewsbury. You have to tip the cap off to them. First, a sacrifice fly, and then the mental lapse by Franklin. That's what's been the issue here in the 7th inning. Started off with an error, now an error on the throw, and we're back to where we began, a comeback by the Colonials.
If you throw that ball just into third base, You keep the runner on second with 2 outs, but the runner scores and the runner from first goes all the way to third. That's the potential lead run with Paris coming up.
And now
We're tied at 3.
Now with Paris up, Pete, the go-ahead runs at third base, a little less than 60 feet away. And Mucciaroni's still staying on there. He's talking to Coach Brown, but right now he needs to get this out right now.
And he's staying with Mucciaroni to face Paris. 3-3. A sacrifice fly and an error on the throw as Good sailed one into the stands. There was a discussion. They gave the runner third base on the throw and home plate on the error. And now Kuzmek is going to come in. So finally the call by Zach Brown. And James Kuzmek will try to keep the game tied in the 7th inning.
Still a dangerous.
Let's recap this inning. An error, we believe by Rader. Let the first runner on. Then Bates got an out, I believe. Then a single and a sacrifice fly. Bates took a called third strike for the 3rd time. And that was the only out until the sacrifice fly and then the error on the throw to third. And it's tied at 3. Shrewsbury has their leadoff hitter, and what a hitter he is with a runner on third.
Mucciaroni got a standing ovation from the Franklin faithful as he exited the game. Very well deserved. But right now, what a dangerous position to put James Kuzmek in. Seems like both relieving pitchers, which came in the game, have been put in those situations. Griffith entered the game with those runners threatening to score, and DeGiorgio indeed brought them home. And now Kuzmek enters the game with a go-ahead runner on third base. He needs that one out. It'll be interesting. He'll give the leadoff hitter for Shrewsbury something he hasn't seen before, something different. We'll see how that affects him.
Yeah, that could be the thinking there by Zach Brown. Mucciaroni cannot complete it, but it was through no fault of his, really. That's an unearned run because the runner reached because of an out, an error. And then that fly ball would have been the 3rd out.
Yep.
So these are all unearned runs. Kuzmek's line will look good, but it's a tough break for him. Yep. And now Franklin is going to try to hold on and stay tied here in the top of the 7th inning. What high drama in this one.
He was inches away from closing this thing out, but again, you have to tip your cap to Shrewsbury. The backs were against the wall. Nothing was working for them, but they kept their noses to the grindstone, kept on grinding it out, and that's why they're here right now. We said that they have a flair for the dramatic. They haven't come here without a reason. They're here for a reason right now, and they're showing everyone why. They are the 4 seed in the semifinal.
Big hits in this inning by the 7th hitter, Dushyant Singh, the 8th hitter, Jack O'Sullivan, and the sacrifice fly by Rocco Kinski, who got good wood on it and drove it deep for the out. It's only the 2nd out, however. And on the error, we have a tie ball game. And now James Kuzmek. Kuzmek will be out there trying to nail down the 3rd out of this long top of the 7th. Kuzmek is a senior, right-handed pitcher. He'll face Andrew Paris. Paris, a double and a run. A reach on an error, which could have been a base hit, a bad hop to shortstop, and then a ground out on a nice play by Ben Jaros.
Receiving some instruction.
They're now making an appeal at first base that the player left too soon was the call, but he did not. And he's down at third base because he got an extra base on the overthrow into the stands. Here's Paris with still the potential lead run at third.
All I'm going to say is buckle up.
Okay. Kuzmek, his first pitch of the game, a curveball in there for a strike. He goes off speed on Paris, and he was not expecting that.
I was not either. That's a dangerous pitch to start off your night with, but it works.
Again, the outfield is fairly shallow on Paris. It's a ball 1-1, a little faster pitch that time. That's by James Kuzmek.
That's a borderline pitch. Franklin crowd did not appreciate that call at all.
Looks like Kuzmek thought he should get that call as well. 1-1 on Andrew Paris, the left fielder. The 1-1 home. Curveball is outside, 2-1. Cosmic had a lot of time warming up in that right field bullpen. It's quiet out there now. And the pitch home. Curveball is a strike. A delayed raised arm by Rich Sarney.
Again, one of those borderline pitches in that same area as one of those balls called, but this time Sarney rings him up.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Andrew Paris. Pitch home is a tapper to Cosmic. He's got it. He throws the first, a bullet in time for the out. And the side is finally retired. 2 runs on 2 hits and 2 errors and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Shrewsbury 3 and Franklin 3.
What an outing by Cosmic. Came in clutch, had everything lined up against him as he entered the game, but he shut Paris down, Shrewsbury's top hitter so far today, with ease. And we'll head to the bottom of the 7th. If Franklin wants to win, they're going to have to walk it off, Pete.
Yep, or we could go to extra innings,
Yes.
but it would be a walk-off win no matter how you slice it, either in the 7th, the 8th, or some other inning.
Remember when we said earlier in this game that this has the makings of a classic?
Yeah.
I'd say it's lived up to the hype.
The only fly in the ointment is the 4 errors on the Franklin side of the ledger.
Yep.
And one I still debate because that was a wicked bad hop.
Yep.
I don't know how they could call that an error, but 3 errors in 2 this inning. This is what really had hurt the Panthers. 1 on a drop ball at first base, and then the big overthrow from left fielder to third base.
Well, Coach Brown told you before the game, Pete, that defensive plays are going to play a huge part in who comes on top in this game. If Franklin's fortunate enough to advance, they're really going to have to tighten up those errors. Most of them committed in that 7th inning, allowing Shrewsbury to get back in this game. But we'll start off the 7th inning with one of Franklin's many heroes so far today, Henry DeGiorgio.
So it will be 5, 6, and 7. Try to get something going for the Panthers. In the bottom of the 7th. This is the last scheduled inning. If it's tied, we'll go to extra innings. And it's still Ben Griffith. It's still Griffith, and he's looked good. He struck out the side.
He's coming clutch just like he did against BC High. He's done a great job neutralizing the Franklin offense right now.
DeGiorgio stands in. What a game he's had. He popped out in his first at bat, then he singled and knocked in 2 runs in the 5th inning. The last time he was at the plate. Trying to get it going. The Franklin bench comes alive here in the bottom of the 7th. We're tied at 3. Griffith, his first pitch. And DeGiorgio takes the strike. Another curveball.
Griffith's has done a really great job of finding the strike zone and starting off his batters with strikes.
This is the 4th time around for DeGiorgio at the plate tonight. The 0-1, did it hit him?
I think it ran and got a piece of
him. I
him.
thought it did. The bench thought it did, but he did not make a move.
Oh.
He certainly didn't sell it as though it did. 1 ball and 1 strike to Henry DeGiorgio. Fans, we hope you're enjoying the semifinals of the State High School Baseball Tournament Division I on Franklin TV. Pitches outside. Our producer, our director, our technologist today, Chris Flynn, and we welcome back Franklin TV alum Meredith McCunis, who's working again and back working for Franklin TV. We welcome her back to the broadcast team. The 2-1 home to DeGiorgio. Did he go for it? He appealed to third, and it is a strike.
Yep, that's the right call. DeGiorgio, again, very indecisive whether he wanted to fully commit to the swing or not, but he went the way around, and now we're even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Griffith has struck out 3 of the last 4 batters he faced, sandwiched it in along with an intentional walk. You can't fault him for that. 2-2 to DeGiorgio, leading off the 7th inning. DeGiorgio calls for time. It'd be DeGiorgio and Lions and Chin if we get that far.
And you know what this reminds me of, Pete? This reminds me of the final game of Franklin's regular season, the Pedroli Tournament Championship game against Hopkinton. We'll talk more about that after this pitch.
Okay. DeGiorgio takes strike 3 called. 4 Ks. The last 4 outs have been all strikeouts by Griffith.
Oh, man. I didn't like that call. DeGiorgio did not like that call at all. After he was rung up, he wiped the plate and sort of pointed to it to show Sarney, hey, here's the plate. That ball was not on the plate at all. But he's retired on strikes. Jace Lyons has been retired on strikes 3 times today, or 2 times, I think, excuse me. So he really needs to step it up as well.
Lyons, 1 for 3. He does have a single with the 2 Ks. And he takes a ball about Hopkinton.
Yeah. So Franklin, in that final game against Hopkinton, they had their backs against the wall too. They were down 1-0 heading into the 7th inning. They got a run to tie things up, and then they ended up winning it 2-1 in 9 innings. So Franklin has some experience as well in close games like these.
The Chelmsford game also.
Yes.
They win that game by 1 run, hanging on for dear life in the last inning. Lyons swung through that. 1 ball and 1 strike to the DH for Franklin. And he swings and fouls it loudly off to right field. Out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
This has been where Lyons has struggled now. 2 strike counts. He's struck it out looking both times. You wonder if he'll be more aggressive now.
Pitch home is just a little bit outside. Two and two.
And right now,
on Jace Lyons, the DH, hits in the 6th slot for Coach Zach Brown. And he swings through that. Here's this pitch down to third. First, safe. Boy, they looked at third, looked at first. They said, no, it's 3 and 2. I thought Lyons went.
Oh my, I did as well. And that looked like a pitch that may have been a strike as well, but he's run the count full. He needs to take advantage of the second life he's been given.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Lyons takes ball 4.
Wow.
So the Panthers get a lead off, not a lead off, 1 out, 1 on for Ezig Chin.
Oh man, Lyons.
Wow.
It looked like he may have been rung up right there on that check swing, but he runs the count full, takes the ball, and now the winning run is on base for Franklin.
So Lyons down at first with good speed. 1 out though, and his Chin, that's in the 7th slot. On deck, Ben Jaros. Chin does have a single, a fly out, and a walk from the left side. 1 on and 1 out. We'll keep an eye on Lyons. Does not go. Pitches a ball. 1-0. Every out that Griffith has recorded has been a strikeout. 4 outs, 4 strikeouts. He's walked 2 and given up a single.
That is something right there.
Pitch home is ball 2. Now, if this is wide, if he walks Chin, the potential winning run will be in scoring position for Ben Jaros. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. It's only 2 balls and no strikes to Ezig Chin, the right fielder, the junior for Franklin. Griffith throws to first, and back safely is Lyons.
Another thing about that Hopkinton game, Ezig Chin was the one who scored that game-winning run on a pass ball, wild pitch. Now he finds himself in another clutch situation.
Griffith, the junior, in relief for Shrewsbury. His pitch is nowhere near the plate. Now it's 3-0. Now we can think about a potential walk. You got to think here, Chin is taking at least 1 pitch.
At this point, especially on this pitch, I would not go at all. I think Coach Brown has drilled that into him already. You would not expect Chin to swing here.
Lyons off first, the 3-0 home. Griffith pumps in a strike, the beauty. 3-1.
Yeah, that's the one.
Now, would Franklin have a play on? Could it be hit and run?
Absolutely. I was going to say the exact same thing. This is now where things get dicey. You have some speed along the base path with Lyons. Do you send him? 3
balls and 1 strike. The play to first. Safe. Kind of a delayed call by the first base umpire, Tom Durso. Mark D'Angelo umpiring in second base at the moment. Rich Sarney is the home plate arbiter. 3 balls and 1 strike to Ezig Chin. Chin hits one, through into right field for a base hit. Lyons takes the turn. He's heading for third. There'll be no throw to third. It's cut off. First and third with 1 out for the Panthers.
Clutch hitting and clutch running from Franklin right there. Chin just roped it between first and second to reach safely, and Lyons didn't even think about stopping. He kept his feet churning all the way. The winning run for Franklin is less than 60 feet away from
90.
Ben Jaros.
90 feet.
90, excuse me. We're in a big ballpark now.
It might look to Shrewsbury 60 feet, though. Jarrow stands in. He sacrificed bunt, a single and a line out to second base. Remember that leaping catch by Kinski? That was the last time Jarrow's batted. One now at that spot would end the game because the infield is in with only one out. The pitch to third, the fake to third, the throw to first. The fake to first also. No throw made. First and third. At third base is Jace Lyons. At first is Isaac Chin. Ben Jaros at the plate, one out. Score is tied in the bottom of the seventh. Pitch home. Jaros takes a strike.
Griffith just sticking to his game plan, pounding that strike zone, mixing it up with fastballs, curveballs, off speed. He has such a wide arsenal.
And the outfield has to play in because any fly ball would win the game. So you're going to give them a long fly. That will end it anyway. Look at the right field. He's almost behind second base.
He's creeping him so closely right now.
The 0-1 home is a strike. Oh my goodness. And they give the second, this is a big play, I believe. They give the runner second base. That takes the potential force out and double play out of order. I'm not sure you want to give that up, but they wanted to go with the infield in. It's no balls and 2 strikes to Jaros. The outfield is even in shallower now.
I mean, that tells you
like the softball short fielder.
Coach Dominopoulos is hedging all his bets on Griffith right now.
No balls and 2 strikes to Jaros. Lions off third. Chin off second. The 0-2 home. Jaros swings and fouls it off. We'll do it again. Jaros hanging in there.
Tough pitch. Griffith still showing some of his best stuff, but Jaros battling it away.
And high drama. And it's got to be tough on the fielders. Every play is such a high stress play. 0-2 to Jaros. The third baseman hits in the 8th slot. Joe Terrell, the catcher, on deck. Jaros swings and fouls it deep. He was right on it, but he fouled it off. It's still 0-2, hanging tough with 2 strikes on him.
Second good pitch that Jaros has fouled off. This is the makings of an excellent at-bat for number 19.
Jaros, the junior, the pitch home. Jaros fouls another one off. He just got a piece off the end of the bat.
Just barely. That was an off speed. He took some speed off of it. Griffith did. Jaros' speed was swing, was just quick enough to get a piece of it and foul it off. It looked like he might be missing it all.
Griffith with some high stress pitches. He's doing the job so far in relief. Again, the 0-2 home. Jaros swings and fouls it again. What an at bat by Ben Jaros.
This is phenomenal.
He's just waiting for his pitch upon. If he gets one he can handle, he's going to end the game.
He is hanging tough and hanging tight. As you said, waiting for that pitch. Once it comes, he will make no mistake.
Again, no balls and 2 strikes. Griffith with good pitch after good pitch after good pitch. Jaros swings and they threw it into right field for a base hit. Franklin is going to the state tournament, the state finals. Ben Jaros got the pitch he wanted and bangs it between the drawn-in first baseman and the drawn-in second baseman. It's a walk-off victory for the Panthers. They're on to the state championship against Taunton High School.
What a gutsy gut check win from Franklin. It looked dicey at times, but when the moment mattered the most, the Panthers rose up and were up for the occasion. Jaros hung in there tight, a long at bat, fouled so many good pitches off, but he gets his pitch, like I said, makes no mistakes, rips it into outfield, the winning run scores, and Franklin is headed to the state championship. Wow!
It wasn't easy, but they came back, and give them credit. Let's recap this inning. DiGiorgio struck out. Lyons walked. That's a big walk. Chin singled him over to third. That's a key play for Lyons to reach third. And then they gave up Chin on a second base steal. They let him go undetected. And then Jaros, how many times did he foul off a pitch, Nippon?
I think at least 4 or 5.
At least 5. At least 5. Wow. Franklin blows a lead in the top of the 7th and scores a walk-off run in the bottom of the 7th to go to the state championship.
The ultimate rescue act by the Panthers as they shake hands with the Colonials. A phenomenal game played by these two teams. A lot of respect should be held for both these teams. Shrewsbury did everything they could to get themselves back in this game, and they did. But in the end, Franklin was too clutch and came up huge.
Ben Jaros, with the hit of his career, knocks in the winning run over the through the drawn-in infield. You had to play it that way because there was the lead winning run at third base, and Jaros got it through. The only question was, would it hit the runner on first base, Isaac Chin? He had to kind of scurry out of the way. That's an out, and the ball is dead if it hits him. But he hopscotched over it, and that ended the game. What a ball game. Franklin is going on to the state championship. The last time we were in that position, 4 years ago, Nippon, we had what was called the Super 8, the big powerhouses. And Franklin, with a great relief pitching by Jake Noviello, defeated, I think it was Lawrence Central Catholic, to win that game and send them to their first Super 8 championship. They'll have a chance to do it again against an old Hockomock foe. 3 times they faced. This will be the 3rd time against Taunton.
This will be the tiebreaker. Again, they split the season series. They won in their home ballparks respectively, but now most likely will be coming back to this ballpark in Worcester. Franklin and Taunton both have a little practice on it. That should be a phenomenal game on Saturday.
The line score, Franklin 4 runs, 13 hits, 4 errors, and for Shrewsbury 3-4-0. Franklin wins it. They'll go on to the state championship, and we hope to have that game for you on Franklin TV. Coach Brown now being greeted by his players. He jumps he's jumping up and down. He's delighted. Zach Brown out in short right field, and we're going to wrap it up. I'd like to thank Nippon Goyle. This is Pete Royce, my partner Nippon Goyle, Chris Flynn, and Meredith McCunis. The final score for the final time, Franklin 4, Shrewsbury 3. Franklin goes on to the state championship. Till then, so long, neighbors.